My talk at the NABA West was almost as shit as my off-season body that I brought to it as a guest spot. Do you want to say some words? And I was like, you're all cunts. And if you don't like my fucking 300-pound off-season body, you can just fuck off, basically.
Welcome back to Bash Bros Podcast, episode 3. I'd say it's episode 3, but it's episode 2, really, because episode 1 didn't count. I think none of the original cast are even here now, so apart from me. So I think we call this episode 2. No, you joined halfway through the first one, right?
So it's 2.5, episode 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. That's right. But we have been here for about an hour trying to make this podcast work.
No, Dean has been doing it. We were all fine. Dean's been trying for an hour.
But we're good to go. So, everyone, we've got Dean White on. He is a multiple PCA champion, soon to be IFBB Pro. Obviously, one of the best amateurs in Britain. I'll just pull up his page now from Facebook. So, if anybody wants to go follow Dean, they can. There's Dean's page there, Dean White, PCA Pro. Not that he needs any more followers because he's got like 23,500 followers.
That's enough.
Yeah, I think you can see there, obviously, Dean's physique is phenomenal. So it made sense to...
Very kind of you.
So yeah, if we stop the share there and just obviously give us a little rundown on your competition history and stuff, Dean, and what your plans are, where you are right now, going forward.
Right, so I was in prep before lockdown. That's where I'm going to start anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came to an end because we have no certainty on any shows. So as we all know, bodybuilding's not that healthy. Thought I'd, bring it to an end and start again next year. Because let's be real, there ain't going to be any decent shows on this year.
No.
Well, there probably will be in the States by the looks of it, but I don't know, to be quite honest. So I'm not prepping for any shows this year now.
Okay.
So I've gone onto a cruise and I'm going to get my bloods done.
So run us through your competition history, because you blew onto the scene from nowhere, from my perspective anyway, because I've done a couple of PCA shows and things, but obviously I hadn't really heard of you, and then bang, you were winning overall. So run us through that.
So I started competing with NABA in 2015. I'd done the NABA West. That was my first show.
I remember that shit. Shit. I was there, and I remember seeing this fucking guy I'd never seen before, and as soon as I saw this fucker, I was like, well, that's done. Everyone's finished. And I remember actually saying it to him. I was like, oh, that's done. And you were like, no, man, wait for the overall. And I was like, no, don't worry, just enjoy, it's done. Literally, it was fucking madness that year. First show was nuts.
Yeah, I didn't have any social media when I first started competing. Didn't have Instagram or Facebook.
That's probably why you were so good.
Yeah, cut away the bullshit. Yeah, and then the second show, so that was 2015. I didn't go on to do the British finals because I was in too much of a shock. I wasn't planning on doing any more shows because I didn't expect to even place, let alone win my class any overall. So it totally sort of head fucked me. I was like, what the fuck's just happened? So I just went back into an off season. Then the next show was Muscle Talk for the PCA in 2016. That went all right as well, actually, on the overall there.
Went all right.
Shit, my memory's terrible. I know I've done 11 shows.
I mean, 11 shows and about 25 trophies, is it?
Can't be far off that.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Cool, then 11 shows. What was the big one? What's the one that made you think, well, apart from the first one, because like you said, I remember like speaking to you, and you like didn't really know like what was going on, and I was like, "Fuck, this guy's gonna be." And then yeah, he didn't even do the British just because you didn't fucking know. What was the one that made you think like, "Oh yeah, okay, this is what I'm gonna do
now"? I'm not sure really. To be fair.
Come on, which one gave you a semi? Come on, which one gave you a semi?
Which one gave me a semi? Well, I think that the best package I brought to him was the PCA finals in 2018. So I done the Worlds after that, and I was fighting a rebound, so I looked shit, and I cramped up on stage, and then
was that when you were with Vandal? Were you with Nick there? So does the shot with you side to side?
No, mate. The shot with me and Nick, that was in Romania.
That was fucking nuts. Both of you, right? Fucking bricks. That was nuts.
That was a tough show, mate. I got fourth there.
It was fourth with that. Nick was looking fucking horrific as well.
Yeah, there was. I think it was two Iranians that placed in front of me there, as well as Nick. But they were solid, mate. They had done like the Arnolds and stuff before. So
who won that class?
Sorry, mate.
Who won that class then?
Nick won. Wait. So in my weight class, Nick got second. Some Iranian got first, and an Iranian got third. Yeah, he was really. They were both really good, to be fair.
When you
they were tripping a muscle. Yeah, that was in 2016. That was just after the muscle talk.
Were the juniors just not good enough to give you a challenge, so you just went straight to the men's?
Well, no, I had done the muscle talk in Ryan, and Warren invited me to go to Romania with him. I went over there with Mike and Lisa. That was really good. But yeah, I was really happy with fourth, to be fair, because it was my first international show and it was pretty stacked. Didn't go over there expecting to even place, to be quite honest. So I was really happy with that.
Yeah. In all fairness to you, though, but I think that's where a lot of people stood to attention, I think. They'd seen you winning. Obviously, in some years at NABA shows and stuff, you can win in the overall because you were best of, not in your case, but for some people, it can be best of a bad bunch. But if you go to a show like that at your age and fucking place like you did and look like you did, people start to listen then. But like Ryan said before you came on, he's surprised you're not a pro already, which is, you know, that's a testament for how you look, really.
Well, I'll probably be doing. Me and Ben have got some shows in mind for next year.
So you and Ben show, are you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
What's he like as a coach?
Really good, mate. Really good. Yeah. I started working with him for an off season to help me with my insulin, sort of, because I'd done it before, but not a lot, and I wanted to do it really safe. So yeah, I just got in contact with Ben, and things have just been really good.
Are you a big believer in insulin then?
Definitely helps, mate.
Yeah.
I was stuck at like for my body weight. Well, I was stuck at like 97 off season weight, and it was just fucking me off. I couldn't. So without just pushing the food alone, I'll just get a bad stomach. You know what I mean? And it was just kept getting really bad stomach. So I got in contact with Ben, and things started moving up. Now my body weight sits a lot higher. Do you know what I mean? Do you know that body weight where when you just let your body chill, it sit at a certain weight.
Yeah.
When you like cruise and you just let off the food for a bit, just like let the body rest. You have that weight in you that it just sits at. It was 97, but now it's 102 now. So.
Yeah, the level in weight. Yeah, I get that. What about the rest of you lads? Obviously, Jack, you probably haven't done anything to do with insulin, being the natural guy. What about you, Rai? Do you use a lot of insulin? What's your thoughts on it? Does Ben push it or?
No, not at all. I haven't used any since I've been here, to be honest. I haven't used it before. It's probably one of my favourites, especially being a taller physique, you know. I think that was the biggest difference, is when I was taking that and then going to train with Leroy and that down in Birmingham. And that was all at one big phase, and that was when I put on probably like 30-40 pounds in a couple of weeks. No, I don't know. It was the first time I'd ever used it, and I went to using slow and fast, and I think it's definitely a game changer, especially for people with harder gainers. Obviously, I'm not a hard gainer, but definitely people that I've spoken to with, I think it's more important than people think, and it's definitely not as dangerous as most people think. I think it's safer than taking any sort of anabolic, to be honest, because you're not going to die in your sleep from taking insulin unless you're taking it before bed. You can feel it coming, and if you know what you're doing.
Let's put a caveat on that though, because it can be dangerous if you're not clued up on it. Because I know a guy once, and this will probably shock you, who got told to take two IUs to start, and he went and took 2 mil, and and I'm not joking. The guy had to crawl to the fridge and then ring 999 and just about made it. He
got to the fridge.
Yeah. Fuck. So the truth of the matter is, it's a very potent, useful, and can be very safe. Less long-term effects, I suppose, done safely, but using correctly.
If you're a fucking moron, if you're actually a fucking moron, and you can't do any research that isn't looking at fucking memes on Facebook, then don't use fucking drugs. Yeah, don't use drugs. Don't go out and go, oh, how many lines of coke should I do? All of it. You know what I mean? If you're a fucking moron and you can't figure out, don't fucking do it.
So in basic terms, if you're asking me how many mil I should take, then you shouldn't take insulin.
None. Take none. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole pen.
Or even if you say how many international units should I take, just give them a fucking slap.
Yeah.
It's all on you, bud. It's all on you.
But yeah, so I know obviously that leads me on to the fact, obviously last week this podcast had quite a good reception, which means it's going to grow, and more people are going to watch it. So I just don't want people watching it and thinking it's okay to go and slam a load of insulin themselves. Please don't be doing that shit, because you've got to do your homework first. And these guys are talking are advanced bodybuilders, guys who are at the top of the amateur, borderline professional game. So I certainly don't advocate anyone taking it otherwise.
I'm technically a professional, don't you?
What's that?
I'm technically a professional, okay? Just because it's not an IFBB Pro card, it makes a really good fridge magnet. And don't you fucking forget it.
Well, Dean is as well. Dean's a PCA Pro.
Yeah, you should see his fridge littered with Pro cards.
But yeah, so how's everyone else from last week, lads? How's their week been in lockdown? Jack, you haven't really spoke yet, mate, so give us a little rundown on how your week has been.
I was going to add in, when you're talking about the insulin then, it goes back to what Ryan was talking about last week, about how people don't talk about things like that a lot of the time because they don't want to put out to people that they're doing all these extreme protocols because they want to make it seem like realistic, whereas I think a lot of people are doing it, So I think having people...
More realistic to tell people you are doing it.
Exactly. But, so myself, pretty good week. I know, Johnny, I was talking to you earlier. Briefly, I've lost access to the gym I was using for a couple of weeks.
What did you do? Did you get caught shagging in it? I heard there was a new law about that. You can't meet people and bang them anymore. Have you been bumming in the gym again?
One person.
It specifically mentions poo on there, mind.
Oh, no pushing back poo in there.
Right, Ryan's fucked. But so I've had to dig out a little facility down in Swansea now, but
just put your fucking gym gear up, you lazy cunt. I've heard about you going, it's all downstairs in boxes. I don't know what to do. It's not got any instructions. Fucking hell, get yourself down IKEA, have a few practice goes, and then put a squat rack up. You lazy cunt.
I'm not rubbing myself with bands like you are on your rug.
Oh, mate, you should see me on my elastic bands, man. 3 round the cock. I'm up to 3 fucking breeze blocks now and lift for my scrotum.
Yeah, the owners basically just said he doesn't care about the lockdown anymore, and he's just opened up. He's sort of keeping it on the hush, but
not anymore, obviously, because it's on the podcast.
No, essentially he's opened it up. So I'm making do with it. It's very old school, but I'm not complaining really. So
good.
What kit have you got there, mate? Most of it?
It ain't none of your watts and stuff, that's for sure. But it's literally like 80s old school stuff. It's all the same, like color and brand. It's pretty awful, but it's
that sounds amazing. That sounds exactly what I'm looking for.
It's like
it does sound good, mate.
Pumping iron kit.
To fall apart.
Good. Good. I mean, that sounds like good. What did you want it to look like? Planet Fitness. Are you allowed to do a deadlift there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, have you heard Jack train mind? He's probably the most vocal guy I know. So.
Oh fucking hell!
Fucking talk, Johnny.
Oh no, dude, you sound like you're having a baby.
Fucking lesbians in the gym. Oh,
yeah, Frosty is. I'll agree with you there. Frosty's bad, but I was training at the back today. While we were squatting, and my neighbours were looking over, and I was just like, oh fuck.
Well, because Frosty was out there.
Yeah, we were training the legs, like squatting, and he can't help himself. He sounds like he's giving birth.
No, they come over. They thought you were shagging in the back.
Well,
that's why you got banned.
Well, I can get banned. Yeah.
You got banned. Okay.
I'd obviously be the butch anyway. So.
You'd be the power bottom. Be the power bottom. It's where you're like not the power top, but I don't really know how it works, but you can like maybe it get anyway. It's not just one or the other.
It's only gay if you push back. So, so you found a new gym, Jack. Then that's the summary.
Yeah, I'm all good. Yeah.
All good, yeah.
Whereabouts are you training, Roy?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
Where are you training, bud?
Honest, MI40. Never closed since I was. Yeah. Well, I mean, it did. It did close, but I'm still going in there. I mean, yeah. Everything was shut down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's open now, though.
So you're training back there again, yeah?
Yeah, everything's open here. Bars, everything. Ultimately, though, like I just saw on the news. It's the last 4 days. There's been 3,500 new coronavirus cases. So probably not a good idea.
What would you say is the best gym you've trained in, Roy? Obviously, you've been
around the world.
A lot. Yeah, mate, you've been a lot of places. So
that's a good question.
I've never been to the States, so I can only dream.
Do you know what? I probably wouldn't even say one in the States.
No?
Nah. I think Australia's got some great gyms. Even like you heard of the World Gym Train, the World Gym Train in World Gym Chain in Australia. John Davey owns it. He was a pro bodybuilder. It's really good, it's like they're everywhere in every city, and it's kind of like our pure gym at home, but it's not, like it's like hardcore, got hammer strength, got everything we would want, but they're in every city. I think it's great. I wouldn't say it's my favorite gym, but I just think they're a really good model, like everywhere you go, like wherever I was traveling in Australia, I'd be like, where's the closest World Gym? Everything we need. It's got like Nautilus staff, world fucking decent. Old school stuff, Doherty's gym's really good. It's got a great legacy, like the vibe in there is great. I think it's a really hard question to answer, to be honest. I don't know. But I love MI40, it's just because but then it's incredible. The equipment here is great. Like it's literally my home. I just kind of do what I want. But
it's subjective to the person, isn't it? You think about it, right? It's a lot of it's in the environment you're in. Depends what you thrive at. Obviously, Dan just alluded to it then when Jack was mentioning it looking like a gym from the 80s. I think that Dan would be in his elements with that. Like I trained at Near Hills Gym up in Tembe, the dungeon, and the kit is shit. But you just happen to go hard because you're in that environment. You've seen the pictures of Flex Lewis in the mirror and that, and you just think, while I'm here, I'm going to go hard,
Yeah.
It's more important, isn't it, really, to have an atmosphere than, like, new kit and stuff. I mean, like, the Ultraflex chain is doing something, like, for everyone. You can scream your head off, but you can have a shower. You can piss yourself and shit yourself, like, in the gym, but then you can, like, actually, like, wash it wash it off afterwards, and like, do you know
It's
what I
always
mean?
a good thing if you can wash it off.
Exactly. You know what I mean? In
The ultra
Temple,
flexors are sick. Yeah.
So like, if you want the kit and stuff, like individually picked, they haven't done a deal. So I think they're like the new age that I can get into. They're a bit big, you know what I mean? I like more of an enclosed sort of space, but we've got 2 amazing gyms in Bristol. For South Bristol, we've got Trojan, which is like hand-picked kit. It's rough around the edges. If you throw up on the floor, as long as you clean it up, no one really gives a fuck. And then we've got LA.
Trojan,
Yeah, see, Trojan's fun. And then we've got LA gym as well, which is like for the other side of Bristol, and that's fucking old school as fuck.
Mate, I've heard something's happening with that at the moment. Is that
yeah. Alfie's bought it from SN UK. It's going to be, but it's going to keep the charm. It's going to keep the charm. But there, again, your showers. They had prison showers. Like literally just one open prison shower, which just meant no one showered, and it never ran. It never ran warm. It was never warm or anything. They had a sauna that's haven't been used since the 80s.
Everyone's too scared to get the cock out.
Yeah, not me. I was in that shower because I had a fucking night shift to do usually.
Play a game of swords.
Oh, all day, every day, mate. I'd always lose. I just used to pretend it was an injury from a time long ago.
Just don't drop the soap.
I just be like,
I'm coming.
Don't mind this 10-inch stump. I got it halved last time I did this.
I'm a grower, not a shower, so it's all right.
I'm a nothing. You know when you're like, if like Barbie's naked, I'm that.
I mean, I get told here, because everyone in America doesn't have their foreskin. So I get told here we look like anteaters or at the end of a balloon. So.
Amazing.
Love it. So, what about you, Dean? Gym-wise, you asked the question, but you've probably been to quite a lot of gyms.
Yes, that's why I was kind of asking the question, because it's exactly, mate. It's like one of those, isn't it? They've all got a different feel. Like I've been up to Cuba's place. That was awesome. I love Ultimate Fitness. I love Mike and Lisa's gym. Obviously, I've got my own gym that I train at, and I've got the gym that so I've got to train at 2 gyms. Trojan's fucking sick, so that's literally.
You got your own gym?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Oh, where?
So I've been training there, like 2 minutes from my house.
like with full Watson kit in it?
No, it's got a variety of kit. We just picked up a nice hoist piece off of Warren. So, we got. As
in, like, it's open to the public or just for you?
No, it's not. Well, it's usually open to the public. But
what's it called?
It's now Falcon Gym again. It was the fitness studio, but we've renamed it. Whilst the lockdown's been going on, we've been sort of rebranding it and spending a bit more money on it. And
I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know that either. So I'm coming for you.
You're coming. Come train, mate. As soon as it's open, come train.
I will. I'm coming now anyway, so fuck.
I didn't even realise that. How long has that been going?
I've had it for about 10 years.
Are you joking?
No.
You haven't had it for 10 years, though. You haven't had it for 10 years.
No, I haven't. No, seriously.
Your dad's a massive guy as well, isn't he? So
a small man. Yeah.
Okay. That's a good point to come on. How your dad got you onto it?
Well, he got the gym when I was like 13, so that's what I wanted to do when I was like just train. So yeah, that's how it started, mate.
That's fucking sick.
Oh, okay.
It
was his gym first.
Yeah, it is his gym. He got it when I was 13, so yeah, it's so convenient, mate. It's literally walking distance from my house.
Oh, cool.
That leads us on to the next question, I guess, asking everyone how they got into the sport, I guess. Jackie, quiet again in the corner park. Give us a little run through on how you actually even got into bodybuilding.
I think same as quite a lot of people, I was like quite heavily involved in sport. I played a lot of rugby. Then moved away to a boarding school to pursue like rugby on a scholarship, and there was quite like a big gym vibe because there was nothing else to do. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's in like Llandovery in mid Wales. There's nothing to do, so all we did was train like on the pitch and then go and train in the gym. So from that, then got like a half decent physique, and then I started getting a lot of injuries on the pitch, and then I started just enjoying the training more than playing, really. So then it's just stemmed from that then. And then at the time, Mike and Lisa were PTing down in UFIT in Cardiff, and they spoke to me and said,
That's a good gym.
Yeah, that is actually. It used to be, like, because it's not quite as... Have you been there recently?
It's gone a bit commercial, right?
Very, like, well, not so commercial, just a bit more CrossFitty and... Yeah, I said it. I swore.
Whoa!
Yeah. But no,
oh man, another one gone.
Nice shower rooms there.
Oh, lovely showers. They got hairdressers in there. They got salon, everything. But just for you, Dan.
Fucking need it.
So, Dean, where do you live? Bristol.
Sorry?
Do you live in Bristol? Did you say?
I live outside of Bristol, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I remember we spoke about this before. I think you're like an hour and 40 from wherever my house is at home, right?
Yeah.
Roughly. I think
it's just closer to Bath than Bristol.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So is it like no? I was just thinking about this whole gym thing. I can really. So are you just you going in there, or are you letting a few other people in there, or what?
Right, here we go.
Right, we moved on, pal. We were on a different subject.
Sorry, I'm behind on time zone, so.
One that wanted to strap. There's no fucking strap.
So you did rugby, whatever. You did soggy biscuit or whatever rugby players do. You'll wank on the biscuit, and then whoever comes last eats it, and then you all suck each other off. Then what?
And then you drop the soap in the shower.
Yeah, and then what? Come on, Jack. We were almost there.
When Mike and Lisa spoke to me, said I'd probably do all right competition-wise, so then I started training to compete.
Is that why your legs are, like, massive? Was that, like, a huge focus when you were, like, training rugby to have the drive and the power?
Just kicking balls all day. That's where it's come from.
Oh, yeah. Kicking balls.
Not to be confused with licking balls.
Kicking, not licking.
Dan, tell us, pal. I know you were a bit later to compete in. So,
I like the way that Jack goes. Oh, like most people, I was really, heavily into sport and stuff. And I thought that my story was more like, well, like most people, I was quite heavily into drugs. And so I started quite late because I got into some trouble and stuff like that. And then I ended up on like a charge thing, a naughty boy charge. And then I ended up with a tag on, and I couldn't leave the house. And although I tried to run where they put it on, I tried to run to the pub as fast as I could whilst they set the perimeter of this tag thing. And then run back, but I didn't quite make it. So I was fucked because I couldn't go to the pub. So come 5 to 8, I had a bike. I could do it in 3.5 minutes. And then I'd cycle back. So this wasn't sustainable for my alcoholism. And so basically I had to accept the fact that I was probably going to have to spend some time at home on this fucking anklet thing. And I tried ripping it off and stuff, and they do come around and arrest you. So if anyone's wondering whether they work, mine worked. I know that because I got an extended sentence for the end of it. So just in case anyone thinks that they're just a Casio, they're not. They do work. They've got fibre optics in them. I got told that. And so I got given a tag, and I tried doing drugs at home on my own, but it didn't really have the same oomph. And so basically, one of my friends came over, called Felix, and saw I was having a bit of a rough time, and I was a little bit down about things and not really knowing what to do. And he brought a bench press in, and he said, well, you're bored. What you do when you come and you're on lockdown, I'll come down and we'll pick these things up and put them down again. And I was like, well, I mean, that sounds shit, basically. But okay, I'm not really doing anything else. I just found that I got quite strong doing that. When I was on tag, I think it gave me the max 6 months or something like that. So I was only really training upper body. It was chest and arms and stuff, and eating sausage rolls. But then I found that having that thing that I needed to do, having the training that I needed to do, meant that maybe I wouldn't get completely fucked the night before. because I got to do the training, or maybe like I won't start drinking now because I've got to like eat something. I mean, my diet was still shit for years. I didn't compete until about 2 years later. In fact, I didn't join a gym for 6 months because I wasn't allowed out of the house. And so I started just by lifting, and then I was able to bench like, over 100 kilos, like, which was pretty much all the bar took for like 20 reps fairly quickly. I'm like developed like faster than some other people. And so it kind of got it like that. Felix was the guy who brought me over that bench press. Sadly, he took his own life, and it was his birthday yesterday. So I just want to say happy birthday to Felix, and stuff like that. It's funny, actually, sometimes the bench press, like you get given a gift and you don't realize what the gift is. Because the gift wasn't the bench press. Actually, it was a gateway into a way of structuring my life, which actually later allowed me to organize all the chaos that was going on. I still have a chaotic mind, but I'm able to like be a functioning mentalist. And so
I really love that.
So yeah, bless him, And I did actually say that at his funeral. You don't know what you're doing sometimes, and it didn't save him, unfortunately, but it did kind of save me. And it was the structure of the bodybuilding, the meals and the prep and stuff that went from complete carnage as a human to now I'm like horribly, like I'm scared of not being structured because I might go back, so I'm scared of not structuring. But later allowed me to do 2 degrees. I'm now like a teacher and stuff like that. Like I never really wanted to be like anything magic or anything, but like just to like calm. And so yeah, that's my little story. And then I needed to train and output a structure and thing. It was important, and it taught me lots and lots of things about respect for myself and for others, and even just a little bit of future. Just I might train tomorrow, whereas before I'd be like now, mentalist, no structure, don't know, don't sleep, fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
I think that's one thing.
Dan, that was really nice.
Stop! I'm blushing.
No, I really like things like that. Hit me really like hard, And
everyone,
nice
I find. Well, thank you. I feel there's usually a story,
Do you still have the bench press?
No, I don't have the bench press. I think like it's one of those things. Like it had to go. Someone else has it. Maybe it's doing the same for someone else.
Yeah. I love that.
I think about it like that.
Nice.
Right, that's really nice, man.
What were you, bud?
Oh, fucking hell! We got a deep story coming on. So I was like growing up as a kid at school. I thought a lot of people were fat and bullied, and that's what got them into bodybuilding. But obviously, it's a handful. But anyway, so I got bullied really badly at school because I was fat and overweight, and it was like really bad. And I got to a point where I bought a greenhouse for the garden because I thought that was the way to lose fat, was to eat vegetables. So I thought I'd buy a greenhouse and start growing some vegetables in the garden. And a few years went by, and I got really skinny and started looking like a stick. And then at this time, I was doing like paper round and working at a garden centre nursery and stuff. And then I was doing my engineering diploma while I was still at school. And then I finished, and I did an apprenticeship as a mechanic at Nissan. And I started working there. And next door to Nissan, there was a bodybuilding gym, Eddie Freeburn's gym. So I went in there next door, and I was like, "Hey, bud, I've just been eating vegetables for the last few years. I lost about 60 pounds, but I don't really want to look like this. I want to just get a bit bigger, and like look a bit better." And he was like, "Cool, let's go." I was like, "What do you mean, let's go?" He was like, "Well, I'll train you. You eat my diet, and you can do my bodybuilding show." I was like, "The fuck is bodybuilding? What is that?" I was like, "I mean, if I ain't got to pay for shit, then let's go." So I did, and I started eating chicken and rice. Fucking, my teeth started bleeding. Started training. I used to pose with him every hour lunch break, every night, every day. He'd train me after work for fucking like 3 or 4, I think maybe 5, 6 months, and then I did his show. I mean, I looked like fucking shit. I just turned 16.
I met you there. I met you at that show, didn't I?
Yeah. I looked awful, but it was obviously an under 23s class, and the guy that won I thought he looked amazing. I mean, now probably not, but it's crazy because honestly, right, for weeks leading up to the show, I remember even after he said to me, he was like, "Oh, you do a bodybuilding show." I went back to mum and dad, and I was like, "Mum, I'm going to do a bodybuilding show." She was like, "What the fuck is bodybuilding?" I was like, "I don't know." She was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then she just like started realizing that I need to eat some more chicken, and she was spending more money. And I don't know. From then, they never really had a clue about it at all. But my parents have been the best about it. You know, they really supported me the whole way through it. Anyway, got to this few weeks before the show, and I was getting really emotional about it. I kept like crying every day, and I was like, "Fucking hell, I've got to basically stand naked in front of all these people." And I found it really hard. I was like, "Nah, dude, I don't think I can do it." And then anyway, got this to the day, and I was crying, and I was like going through the process, and anyway, got backstage, and I was still crying. I was like, "I can't fucking do this. I hate people." And then anyway, I remember he actually pushed me on the stage, and I walked out after everyone. I was like, "Fuck, no, this is quite cool." And then they spoke about me a bit and were like, "Oh, hey, one of the kids here just turned 16 and we're going to invite him to the British finals for the under 18s." And I've actually got the video on my phone. It's like a 10-minute video, and it's really emotional for me because you can hear my mom and dad screaming my name, and they're both crying because they don't really know what's going on. And like, I still watch that video back now because it's really emotional for me, but it was really weird. Like, he just came from there, and then he was like, "Oh, do this show, and then do this show," and then he started the PCA. And I was like, "Let's do this, do that." And then, like, sadly enough, we kind of parted ways because I wanted to do bigger shows and do UQFF and try and really make my life about bodybuilding. And he was like, "No, I want you to do this." I don't want to talk badly about him because, I'm a very loyal person. I kind of wish we were still in it together, but we fell out about that because he just wanted me to do PCA. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I owe bodybuilding to him completely, and I hope he forever knows that. And it's just really weird, I never thought it would ever happen like this and stuff like that. But I never even wanted to be big. I just kind of wanted a little bit of muscle because I remember my sister used to have some kind of good looking boyfriends, and it was like kind of, wow, they look cool. And now I'm like, yeah, Ronnie Coleman or Ramy or nothing.
Ironically, I met you at the Hampshire show, and everybody was talking about, how much courage you had, and obviously you were only 16. And then we sort of stayed in touch, but we didn't see each other for a few years. And then I saw you backstage at the show that Dean was doing. We did the Saxon, right? And we were backstage, yeah. And I came second in the class 1 to Charlie Barrett there, and he was massive, but he was a class of 5. Yeah. I was happy with that. But I remember you were doing the juniors, and you'd come in. I think you were in between two minds on whether you were going to do it, and you were asking me for some reassurance backstage. And I remember seeing Dean backstage with his feet up, just chilled as fuck. But I was just blown away. Like, I couldn't give you any criticism because I was just blown away by the sheer amount of muscle that you'd put on since I saw you. Obviously, when I saw you last, you were only 16 and you were a massive lump. When I saw you then at the Saxon, you were just a completely different guy. And it was difficult then. I was trying to give you the bodybuilding criticism backstage where I couldn't. I was just more impressed by the sheer amount of muscle that you sort of shoved on your frame.
I mean, ultimately, thank you. But I look back at the photos now, I'm like, damn, I look like fucking shit. Can't believe I stood on stage like that. Like, it's awful, embarrassing. And if I see people stand up there like now, I'm like, oh my God. But like, ultimately, I think for me, it took. I've done 19 shows now. I've got 15 trophies maybe. But it took me that fucking shit. 5th place, 6th place, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, to be like, kind of feel a bit immortal about the fact, that I know it's going to fucking take forever. I'm fucking 6'2". There's not many over 6 foot bodybuilders. Maybe I'll be able to make it. Maybe I won't. But I don't fucking give up.
How old are you? Aren't you 21?
I'm 22. Yeah.
22. I literally picked up my first weight in my bedroom on tag at 21. You've got time, man. You've got time. I'm not saying obviously don't aim for me. I'm doing shit, but yeah, you're ahead of the game, man. Just don't rush it. Don't snap something off. Dean's a young gun as well. That can
a little bit older than Roy.
a little touch.
That's shit, isn't it?
Hey, I'm 36 next week.
Oh, yeah.
36 next week. No one told me it would fucking happen to me. Everyone was like saying, yeah, people get old and they fucking get old and then their knees hurt. And then I was like, yeah, these guys are dicks. They don't know anything about me being fucking invincible. Like, obviously I haven't heard. and stuff. And now I wake up and just think, fucking hell, I wish I died in the night. Because I feel so shit every morning, like I've been hit by a fucking train. Like,
I feel the same.
It's fucked.
I was going to actually put that across as a question. Is I have quite a lot of problems with my shoulder and my knees. My knees are bad. I know I kind of know what the problems are, and I'm trying to work on them. But I was just wondering if you guys had similar issues. You know?
So obviously that ties me in. So my story again, the bodybuilding was the same as Jack's, really. But I was playing semi-pro rugby at the age of 17. I think I was signed to the team. And I had anorexia because my rugby coach had told me at school that I was too fat, and I starved myself for 2 years. I then had a set meal plan given to me as part of the sort of development thing, and that gave me a reason to eat. But then at that point, I got told I was too small. So I was too small to play the position I wanted to play. I joined the gym. Same thing as Jack, really. Instead of meeting Mike and Lisa, I met Mark Robinson down at Cardiff Sports Nutrition. And I was his first ever athlete. He prepped me, he did everything for me, and he nursed me into the NAB of Wales. And back then it was all forums. So I did my first show, I completely fell out of love with rugby. And on the forums, there was a lot of hype about how big I was as a junior. So being young and naive, I was sort of listening to the hype myself. And then in the gym, my ego got the better of me, and I decided to go and bench press 220 cold. And ruptured my pec clean off the bone. And so in literally the click of a finger, I went from being the top prospect in Wales as a junior to nobody, you know. And so, yeah, injuries have hampered my career. So it's a very prudent question, I guess.
I think, like, it is so shit, isn't it? Because I always feel like that. I'm, like, training through this shoulder injury, or I stand like this, or my knees are fucking killing me, and I feel like I'm going to tear my fucking patella off the bone. And I'm like, damn, if it fucking does, that's it, bro. Like, you better start learning how to cook or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt pretty fucking good for a while. I think I hit 30 and it became like pretty obvious that I was going to be housing some stuff that was never going away. Do you know what I mean? I think it's like you're younger, you have a thing, and like, you know, it gets better or whatever. But now usually you just take them on board and add them to the fucking list. I usually like add them to the list. Oh, I've got tendonitis in my patella tendon. Cool. Well, what does a doctor say? Well, rest for like a year and then you'll be a fucking noodle and die. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, just it's not an option for me. I don't have like that. So okay, well, cool. The knee's fucked now, so that's good. And I'm allergic to ibuprofen because they're just my shit blood. So that's like, so I rub some CBD in it and pretend I'm getting high or something. Yeah, finally, as you get like past 30, you just start adding them to this like list of like stuff you can't eat and like where you can't sleep and what type of mattress you fucking need, and like, don't look at the TV too long, your eyes will fall out. Like, if I don't eat anything that isn't just baby vomit because your teeth will just start falling out. I've had that as well, like my teeth will just start falling out as well if I eat anything. After I did the Amsterdam show, actually, obviously I'd not really eaten anything, and I was like, I'm going to eat a biscuit, so I ate a biscuit, just like two of my teeth just snapped in half, and I was like, this is what being old is. It's about not even being able to eat a fucking biscuit and waking up every morning just being like, I'm sure this is a heart attack. I'm sure this is where it all ends.
Old people love biscuits.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I feel the same. I think
you feel the same at 21. It's fucking bullshit.
I think it must be a body weight thing, dude. Like, just being able to walk around 300 pounds every day, it's hard work.
I don't trust. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
I wake up every day, I just fucking barely move.
It's bad. And I don't trust a cough, a sneeze, fucking anything. I can shit myself at any time. It doesn't even matter. Like, I don't run for a bus. I don't run for fucking nothing. Like, it's not even, like, I can't eat biscuits. I can't cough. I can't sneeze. I like got ill and threw up like not that long ago. Hernia. Oh, cool. I'll add that to my second hernia to the list. Like, it's fucking, you can't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even pick my nose because I get a fucking nosebleed. So.
Well, so do I, but that's because of other things I did in my past.
As we're on the topic of injuries, Have any of you tried the Support Max joint formula for any of your injuries?
Talking about JP's one before we started.
I can't remember what I do. I mean, these things are good because I used to actually buy all the individual shit that go in these, and that was some expensive shit.
Yeah.
And then I think like the Support Max one was good for like internal stuff. That was a pioneering from Strom, wasn't it? That was a pioneering kind of product.
Yeah.
It combined all
joint,
this.
I find the joint formula actually does work, mine, like for real.
Yeah,
we stepped up a level with these three bad boys.
Oh yes.
they're
the best for health.
I bought the joint one, but I think it does a really good job of like masking an issue though. So it's so good that you might still have an issue, but it's just because of the anti-inflammation in there, you sort of can just like carry on through it.
That's what I need. I need all of that. DM me.
Just curcumin and boswellia.
I don't mind masking anything and then dying like really soon. It's probably inevitable. Like, so masking's what I'm after. This is a product you've sold it based on that.
Just get some Newbane.
I don't want Newbane. I hear is a bit moreish actually, and obviously like
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit moreish. And it did make who was it? Titus, wasn't it? It makes you like fuck and burn your mates to death, which is like.
Friends, yeah.
And also, has anyone actually tried it?
No.
Yeah.
You have you have to vein it, don't you? You have to like. Okay, sounds like you have tried it.
No.
It's like, it's fucking brilliant.
I've spoken to maybe a handful of people that have, and like they just. It's really weird. It's just you can just train and not feel anything.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was a good thing.
You also get to the point where you're squatting and you snap your fucking quad off the bone.
Yeah. Usually it's not
popular in the 90s, wasn't
it?
Yeah. Usually it's not my problem about can I go through the pain. It's the tendon's going to snap straight off the bone.
Yeah, so get a Ultimate Orange and some Newbane. And
that was the mixture, mate.
Good to go, like.
What's the Ultimate Orange?
Ultimate Orange was like pure ephedrine with some other shit that everyone was taking in the 90s and was just getting high as fuck training.
Yeah. If there was ever a time for a disclaimer, Johnny, you got a fucking absolute boner killer off talking about some insulin. Ever a time for a disclaimer, it's now. We're all talking shit. Don't do any of this stuff.
You can't get it anymore. That's why. You can't buy it.
Oh, don't set me a challenge, mate. I've still got the old links. Don't set me a fucking challenge. I will get. You'll see me like next week. Like.
I was told it was made in a cement mixer.
Amazing. That's where all the best drugs are made.
I thought a new version was just fucking heroin.
Yeah, it is basically. Yeah. In a cement mixer. That's the hidden amount. It's the rust of the cement mixture that makes it.
Do we need to put a disclaimer in for heroin as well? Or?
Yeah, don't do smack or crack. Basically, that's what I tell my students. I had to do a drug and sex ed talk because I am a teacher, and obviously I was like sex ed. They're like, I'm not going to fucking read it before I put it up. For the drugs ones, like I'm looking at it going, yeah, just reading off the slides. Yeah, drugs, don't do the drugs. Yeah, cool.
Whatever you're going to take, just take half.
And I was like, cool, yeah, always double drop. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going through all this. It gets to the sex ed one, yeah. And I'm just looking at these slides. I'm going through the slides. I'm like, yeah, cool, vaginas, yeah. Like, and I get to this one, and the slide that I've got from my employer says, not everyone likes deep throat and anal. Just stung me, just like that. Just stung me, just like that. And the drugs one was like, yeah, there was like a rhyme about the rule that was don't do smack or crack. So tobacco, fucking, and I was just like, it was the surrealist thing. So, but I'll find it, and maybe I can play it to everyone next week. So as like a disclaimer, not everyone likes deep throat and anal, which is obviously bollocks. And then we can play the drugs one. Or maybe it's not everyone likes deep throat unless they're on Newbane. Maybe the slides were supposed to. I don't know. Anyway, I got taken off that, so I no longer teach that. So that's good. But the message to the kids: There should be a disclaimer at the beginning of this. It's like all these guys chatting shit, don't do any of it.
Yeah. And not only that, whilst we're all amateurs, we're amateurs that have been doing this for a long time.
I've told you this. It may be a fridge magnet, all right? But it says in biro very clearly that I'm a pro. I fucking said this.
It's not pencil.
I don't know. I'll check. I'll rub my name out, put yours on, and then we can both be pros.
That's about as close as I'm getting to a pro card, brother.
Don't. Amp sent me like his one, like with it, like he'd like done like an Instagram like drawing, putting my name in when I like didn't win mine.
Oh. Brutal.
He was like, "Don't worry, you loser. Have this."
Nice guy.
Hey, you know, do as you would be done by, and I'd be a cunt as well. So
yeah, no doubt. So I guess really the real question is who's going to go pro first, Dean or Ryan?
Oh, fire! But it's me, cunts.
I was actually about to ask what shows you had in mind for like.
Yeah, I think
next year, right?
Dean's way ahead of me. I mean, obviously, I got really lucky last year, like 5 times, 1 point off, but that's just because I've done more shows than him. I don't really know. I was going to do the Amateur Olympia in Vegas, obviously in September, but now I've moved it back to December. Maybe it's better that I do it. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I was thinking about doing. I'll fucking go anywhere. I'll go anywhere in the world. I don't give a fuck. Get a pro card, get a pro card. I don't give a fuck if I beat some fucking little midget or not.
He's not a midget. It's Dean. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Fucking hell. It's fine that he can do a deadlift and still be holding the bar at the top.
I completely get people's point of view where they're like, oh, so you only turned pro because you went to fucking Vietnam or whatever. But like, I mean, I felt like I've done pretty good solid placings, like second at the Amateur Olympia in 2018. There was 1 point off then, and I mean, ultimately for me, and probably I don't know for you, but I don't really care about where I win it. I just want to get it, and then I know then once I get it, then the work starts to be able to put that pro package on the stage. You know, I just feel like it helps kind of my life in bodybuilding getting it first.
Sorry, the only time where you're allowed to blank your coach is on the Bash Bros podcast.
But yeah, I just think that, like, I don't know, obviously a lot of people get them these days, but still in the UK it's kind of quite a big deal, isn't it?
But here for you as well, it's like you like have and you're at an age where you can have a vision for like get the card, get the work, and then you start. Like I think for me, I might have been able to have lucked out in the early stages of them giving out pro cards because they gave out like 9 million and stuff like that. But like getting the pro card probably is like maybe I'll have like a couple of stabs at the pro shows. She's trying to be really stealth. It's not that stealth. You know, and like, you know, that's probably going to be the arse end of me. It's like maybe I could place in a pro show one day ever. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of the end of my existence. So I think for you, yeah, get the card and start up. For me, but I think it's just a timing thing. People always say, what show should I do? Well, once you've considered this time off and then an off-season time of this and then a chill out and then a prep, that puts you around this date. So you should do a show around that date. Well, what should I do? What suits my physique? Fuck off. Just do a show that suits your, like, where would suit your body? Where would you know, yeah, your calendar. What time would your body look the best? You know? And if it's the Azerbaijan Classic and only you're in it, then fucking free pro cards.
I think ultimately, like for me, I think it's about it'll help me build my platform as a person, you know, being someone that people look up to. I don't know about Dean, but that's how I feel. Like you look at people like Regan Grimes now, fucking killing it. Like a few years older than us, very well looked up to, built his own personal brand, clothing, for like social media, you know. And like I think something just for me anyway. Obviously, like the goal is to compete as a pro, but I think as well as just getting a pro card, I think that helps your image a lot, you know, and just being able to be someone that people look up to. Obviously, I'm not doing it for that, but that I feel like that will help a lot, you know, like because I get asked all the time here, fucking most of Americans pro bodybuilders look like fucking shit. And they're like, "Oh, are you pro?" I'm like, "No, I'm not actually." They're like, "What?" I saw some fucking skinny kid down the road the other day, and he was. I was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's a bit different from where I'm from."
Yeah, but was that Miami Pro card?
Yeah, Miami Pro card that's not in Miami and's got no professional athletes.
I mean, you're right, but there are a lot of pros here in America that
Yeah.
shouldn't be. Like without discrediting them, you know.
Well, you have. That's exactly what you just did.
That's
100%. That's like saying, like, before you say something, oh, no offense, but what I'm about to say is going to be so fucking offensive. I don't mean anything by it. Don't take it personally, but here's something really personal about you. I'm going to slay you. It's okay. They're all shit. That's fine.
No, I didn't mean they all are. But
I'm joking. Fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
So I guess the both of you are kind of living the pro life anyway, aren't you? You're doing. If you were to turn pro like next week, your lifestyles wouldn't really change much, would they? The pair of you.
Probably not.
Probably.
Dean would get a nicer sofa, but he'd be in exactly the same position.
I mean, honestly, this is my bed, mate.
That's your bed sofa. So, fucking hell, I've seen
No,
some
it's not a
things.
sofa at all.
It's not even a
bed.
sofa. Fucking sick.
So, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I spoke to Q8 about going to Oxygen. And they were like, "Oh, we love your look. Like, can't believe you look like you're 22, but we don't want you unless you're a pro. So maybe if I get my pro card, they might take me then. I don't know."
I didn't know you could phone a country.
Well,
hello, is that Africa? Actually, Africa's a continent. Africa's a continent, sorry.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I spoke to a few people and that was their reply.
Fair enough. I've always wondered about how you go about training in those two gyms.
I think because there's obviously so many bodybuilders out there, unless you're a pro, I don't think they would take you seriously.
I've seen Jamie Dorego do some fucking crazy shit there.
Yeah.
Like he's done some mad stuff. I think that's the kind of training that you can do when you're not me. But like, yeah, drops at everything. I'm into that. But fuck me, they working fucking hard, don't they?
He's always done that, though. He's always done that. He trained at Michael East's gym, JH. Well, he was part owner of Michael East's gym.
I remember, yeah.
You go in that gym and you'd see Jamie training, and it was just a sight to behold. You could just literally sit there and watch him. There was nobody I've ever seen train that can, like the sort of endurance he had during training. He could
so many reps, so many combined reps. Yeah, impressive, very impressive. I'm not sure about how many check shirts one man needs, but his training is serious.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the thing. See, so you've got the likes of me, Dan, and Jack. We work full time, and obviously with Dan, he's aiming for that pro card, but it's not. He's got things going on outside of bodybuilding, you know. So for you, Ryan, Dean, I suppose almost.
No, wait. I also work.
Oh, well, I didn't know. That's the thing. So that's what I mean. I wanted to know if your lifestyle would change, you know?
Yeah.
Ryan's the only guy living the fucking like dream.
Yeah.
Like
he's living life, man.
So like Ryan is like
I'm officially not allowed to work here in the States yet. So
okay.
Actually, I'm just abiding by law. Obviously, I've got some on like coaching people, but like I don't make a lot of money from it because I don't really push it too much. I'm not really a salesperson. I don't know about Dean. Have you got a lot of clients?
No, I don't. Because I got a full-time job. I don't have a lot of time for it. So I've only got like 6 clients at the moment.
What do you do, Dean?
Yeah. I'm a plumber.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
He's the one in the pornos that comes in. It's like, oh, mate.
Yeah.
My water's all broken. They go, oh, let me see that for you. I've got a blockage. Let me see. It's good money in plumbing. People will always take big shits. Yeah, that'll never dry up. The economy can fall down, but people will always take big shits.
Exactly, mate.
Ryan proved it just before the podcast. Were they telling me his ass bled or something? I can't remember what he said.
That was just a D-ball falling out my arse.
Oh, that's all. I tell you what. Actually, I can't tell you.
Yeah, well, I think the toilet thing, I think it's a common thing. I think you've got to sit there until you can't feel your feet. I think that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I get that. Do you get that too? It's not just me.
I just shit in the bath.
Yeah.
But it's quite a nice feeling when you stand up.
You might need a plumber soon.
Feel your feet. Jack, you quiet, pal?
No, I'm just laughing it up over you two. Do you feel that how do you feel plumbing at the same time as, like, you know, say, for example, you're prepping? How does the plumbing...
Shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. It is hard work, but do you know what I mean?
Mate.
Bill's paying it, so.
Potentially that could help you get in the condition you do. So because you're forced to sort of put the effort in, like to win.
Oh yeah, definitely. If I was to sit at home all day, the calorie difference is massive, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I just imagined like a new centre where there were just loads of like plumbing stations, and people were like, it's the new the new thing to lose weight was after that. Jack Thorvald comes up with a new idea of everyone calorie burning and we're just plunging and fucking. Obviously, you don't always do plunging. I'm like stereotyping massively.
You need a patent that shit.
Well, because I heard the dumbbell was invented because bell ringers used to be massive, yeah? And so loads of people used to go and wanted to be bell ringers so they could be fucking hench and smashing all the maiden goddamn milkmaids and that back in the day, yeah? And so they were like ringing all the bells, like, yeah, ding dong, like fucking hench, and they're coming over and people were throwing their fucking vag juice at them when they're coming straight out of the church and that, after making sick bell ring tune them, yeah, like at the drum and bass rave, yeah? And then, so the other guys wanted to do it, and then they made dumbbells, quiet, dumbbells, everyone hedge, loads of vagina for everyone. Fact.
I think that's fact.
There's got to be fact, isn't it?
To be fair, you've said it, it's got to be fact.
I'm making it fact. Put that in the Bible. Just before the Jewish guy with the cross. Stick it in there. It's got to be. Johnny's just thinking about whether it's too offensive to say.
No. It's staying in, bro. It's staying in. But yeah, no, you're right. It's like they come up with all these new fitness ideas. They've got the ski erg. You've got the watt bike, and next to that you'll have the plum push.
the plum push. The thing is, people will fucking buy this. People will buy this. People would do it if someone said it. So because people, all they want to do is sit around and think about stuff that makes it mean that they don't have to do the fucking work. They think that they can outthink it. Oh, I do Y3T backwards ball bag fucking calf raise anus elastic band exercise because it really targets my inner quads. No, it fucking doesn't, you cunt. Go and do some squats, some heavy fucking squats, do some drop sets, do that shit that you don't want to do. Do the thing that when you're going to bed at night and you're like, oh, that's a nice dream, you go, fuck, it's legs tomorrow, I'm gonna fucking die. Do that thing. But everyone wants to like conjure up these ideas of like, oh, well, how much creatine should I do so that I don't have to do any fucking work? And like, oh yeah, well, I heard about this person. They put their diet together and they're doing carb back cycle loading fucking keto bollocks just because they want to eat bacon. And they're all just trying to outthink just fucking doing the work. So it would work. Plumber fucking plunging is there for the.
So basically, if I do equal amounts of plumbing or plungering as Dean, I'll look like Dean.
Fact. Yeah. It's got to be a fact. Because
Sold.
All right, that's it.
Job and just promote the plum plunger. You'll be the face of it.
I'll be the shit. Help me! Help me!
I'm stuck.
Ryan's lost the will, is he? He's gone for a little nap.
As we were talking about our fucking feet and legs going numb, my fucking arse was going numb, sat on my chair, so I thought I'd just swap pitches.
Fair enough.
Fucking Dean's in his bed, half asleep. You're on the fucking recliner, taking it seriously. I'm in my fucking...
Wait, not gonna lie, right? But this fucking headrest moves. It's pretty cool. I've never seen this before. Oh! Damn.
Oh, easily amused there, right?
Fucking hell, no wonder you got into weight training.
Oh no, where's it gone?
No, that's it. You put it on deflate mode. Fucked it. Actually does look like it's deflating a little bit. Did we have anything else on this piece of paper that we were supposed to talk about?
Not really.
This is like losing momentum, like me in a fucking marathon.
Yeah. Well, no, you lose momentum a lot quicker.
When are you next thinking of competing then, Jack?
Yes, Jack.
I'm looking at next year. Did you say you were going to as well next year? You've sacked off.
Yeah. Yeah, sack this year off this year.
Shit. And Ryan's doing next year as well.
Oh, I'm going to try and do this year if I can.
What sort of like Octoberish?
Yeah, I mean, there's the British final shows going on, right, in October, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. My missus is going to try and do that.
I think I honestly still don't think the show is going to be on, but there's a show here supposedly in 4 weeks. If that goes ahead, then I think the rest will.
Who's going to do that in 4 weeks, though?
Ryan!
Yeah, mate. I'm not allowed to. There's so many shows. Here I'm not allowed to do unless I get my visa. It's weird because my lawyer was going to moan to the IFBB and say, actually by law they're not allowed to do that. But because you pay to join the federation, they can do what they want. It's not like the NFL. You know, they don't pay to play in the NFL.
Maybe they should.
Weird, right?
Yeah, that is fucking weird. It is weird. I think it's weird that you pay to compete anyway, to be honest, but
yeah,
that's another topic.
Yeah.
So you've got Johnny. Have you you're never competing ever again and you hate everything?
Well, no, I'm off that subject, at least for 6 months. I'll probably do another show and then tell everyone I'm retiring again.
I do like it when you do that. It isn't really a competing year without you retiring.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's how it works.
It's like Conor McGregor too, isn't it?
Yeah, well, slightly different success story, but you know.
I heard Conor McGregor's fighting Ainsley Harriott next. True. Yeah, you know, because it's quite similar, isn't it? Cooking.
Do you think the whole Mike Tyson thing will go on?
Yeah, Mike Tyson's going to fight someone who is going to spar as an exhibition and then get angry and then probably kill him.
Do you reckon he'll have to wear a head guard to stop him from biting his ears off?
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. Or he could just do. Isn't he supposed to do a Holyfield again? Isn't he? So
yes.
So he's only got one left. So it's 50-50 on getting a leverage.
Do you think it will go ahead?
I fucking hope not. What a heap of shit.
Yeah. Same goes for the Eddie Hall and Hathor fucking.
I don't know.
No, that's fucking amazing. I want to see.
I was about to say, who have you got then, boys? Who's going to win that one?
No, Eddie Hall. Draft punches from everywhere, man.
He's out.
Eddie. You have to remember, Eddie Hall is a fucking athlete. Thor is not an athlete. Eddie Hall's a fucking beast.
Yeah, I don't
think Thor's going to get punched. I don't think he's going to enjoy that at all. I don't think he's got. I don't think he's got the iron chin.
Obviously,
okay, Thor is an athlete. That was rude.
Eddie's got more aggression, I reckon.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's aggression. I think if you've been around and in their presence.
Has he done boxing before?
Eddie did as a kid, but he can just breathe normally, 400 kilos or whatever he was. He just breathe.
Are you actually allowed to punch someone in the face? It's got Bell's palsy, though.
Yeah, no, it's only if you've had an actual stroke.
Ah, right.
Really, maybe he'll even it out. And then he'll just look really sad.
Fuck's sake.
Sound. Right, gents, thanks for coming on, and thanks everyone for watching or listening. If we've got so to make this more, structured going forward, we'd appreciate questions. Anybody got questions going forward? Dean, if you want to come on again, bud, we'd appreciate you anytime coming on. Obviously, you come on as a guest this week, but if you want to come on each week, let us know. Can
you bring your banjo next time? I hear he plays the banjo.
I do not play the banjo.
Banjo string.
Yeah, I think he plays the banjo. Could we do a little thing? I've seen it where everyone and we could all sing and we could make harmonies together and we could do a little sing song. That'd be nice.
Sounds lovely.
We'll get our bellend down, play with the banjo string.
Okay, Ryan can play the bellend. Yeah, I think it would be good.
Yeah, you're the audio editor. You could make it sound good, I suppose.
I could make you all sound good, even if you sound like two fucking seagulls on a bonfire.
What's that sound like?
Well, how it makes you feel. That's how it sounds.
Give it a go, Rice. So how would you think it sounds?
Yeah, exactly. Like when you lost your virginity. That's what that sounds like.
How old are you when you lost your virginity?
Me?
He hasn't. He's been too busy
13.
bodybuilding.
How old?
13, 14, yeah.
13. Can't be that fat and bullied then, can you?
No, I was like
Lying cunt.
14.
Was it in the greenhouse?
Yeah, I just sat on a cucumber, bud.
Oh, man. I just want to hear. That doesn't count. It doesn't.
Okay, maybe I was 14. I don't even fucking know. I'm not really that sort. I haven't really slept with many people. So
That's okay, but usually remember like the first time.
Are we supposed to remember them very well?
You're supposed to, well, like their name or something. You
I
know, or
remember
like
her name.
maybe
I'm
what
not going to give her this fucking acknowledgement.
I don't think she's going to be watching, pal. You know what I mean?
She's still there at home going, Ryo, just traumatized by the two seagulls on the bonfire. She's still like having fucking like flashbacks.
I don't know about you guys, but when I have sex, I normally get a nosebleed when I'm on top two, so it all goes to their face. Like fucking tomato ketchup.
Nice.
I don't think that's normal, mate. I don't think that's normal.
I'm getting married, so we don't have sex.
Birthdays and Christmas.
Yeah, birthdays and Christmas. Only alternate birthdays because she says I don't deserve one every year. And Christmas is about her.
Oh, that brings me on to the next bit. Jack has touched on this on Instagram. Come on, Jack. Tell us about how long it's been for you, pal.
Oh, fuck off.
Come on.
Oh, Jack.
It's longer than my Instagram, longer than my Fitness Pal streak, and that's like 1,600 days. So.
What?
So like 3 years.
What?
Like that.
Jack,
surely
come
not.
on.
Surely not out of choice.
Jack.
Are we talking like a relationship or just having sex?
Busy lad. Being a busy lad.
He's talking about the Hadouken stick.
Is that what you mean, or a relationship?
No, not sex.
Oh, all right.
Fuck.
I mean, I don't honestly though. Like, even though now, it's been like what 8 months for me now, and like,
how's it got exploded?
I know.
I'm really not like that. When I was in a relationship, when I'm in love, I'm like all the time go. But like, I'm not really right now. Like, I'm just trying to improve myself and my mindset and my health. You know, like.
Yeah,
Prove yourself by rocking that pussy, man. Gotta make yourself better for the pussy.
Yeah. Yes. I wonder what my mum will say when she watches this.
Don't let your mum watch this, for fuck's sake. I wouldn't let my mum watch this. Luckily,
she loves it. That's a highlight of our week.
Oh, Mum. Oh, Mum. I'm sorry, Mum. I'm sorry I started. If you told me people's mums were watching this, then I wouldn't have cleared it up. I just would have refused to come on. You know, if someone invited me on like fucking Loose Women or something, I'm gonna have to decline. Sorry, Margaret, because I don't think I'm suited to your demographic.
I went on a nude beach the other day. We went out on a boat and got to this nude like sandbar. I haven't got back, and I rang my mum and I was like, Mum, do you like the picture? She was like, oh, it's lovely, darling. I was like, Mum, you realise my cock's out in the photo? She was like, oh, yeah. I was like, I was walking around naked. And she was like, and she goes to my dad, she was like, Simon, do you remember when we used to do that? I was like, Mum, that's enough.
I thought that wasn't what he was going to say. I thought he was going to turn to your dad and say, I don't remember your cock being that small. But it's not genetics. Jack, come on. I reckon one more week, July the 4th.
Podcast. Do it for the podcast.
No, mate. All right, look, let's put out, a real talk. If you got any fucking bitches out there, frothing at the gash. Yeah, it's been locked down. All right, you're foaming at the front bum, and you need someone to be your chutney womb ferret. Okay. Just leave a comment in the bottom, all right? Jack is the guy. Jack is the guy. He can be the sausage to your wallet.
He only lasts about 10 seconds, but
it doesn't matter.
It'll just
Doesn't
be
matter.
boom.
Right, Jack. All right, get in contact. I'm going to give you a diet plan. Going to give you a penis training guide. Going to do like, do you know what I mean? We're going to have you up to speed, mate. I'm going to put some blueies in the post, some Cialis, all right? And if you're interested in Guy Jack, that's all his real hair, okay? And there's none down there. So leave the comments, all right? Leave the comments.
No, but like, this is fucking hilarious. But in a more serious way, Jack, like, is it something you're searching for, or are you just not bothered?
No, right. I'll be honest. Like, obviously, competing back-to-back years, like and doing it naturally, I lost a lot of sex drive, like, for a long time. And then I got an injury after that, and my confidence was like rock bottom, like rock.
What did you do?
No, it wasn't like
It was a cock injury.
Cock push-ups.
It wasn't like an acute like tear or anything. It was just like something that came up after like years and years of training, and like my posture was fucking up. Like I couldn't train properly at all, and I lost quite a bit. So my confidence was just in the gutter, and I didn't like I went to the GP about it, hospital and everything, just because and it was more just like a psychological thing. Like I didn't.
Why can't you just turn the lights off?
True.
Could he still?
It was more along the lines of that I wasn't happy with myself at all, so that never let me like pursue, like, without being arrogant. I'm like, I could get a fucking girl if I wanted to. Do you know what I mean?
That's my man.
But what if
You got pussy on tap, man. Just click his fingers, fucking pussy everywhere.
If your confidence is low, you've just got to go, right, instead of banging sevens, I'm going to bang a 4. She won't care.
Never bang a 4.
Well, no, but if his confidence is low, she's not going to care what he looks like.
True.
No, that's if her confidence is low.
At
That's
least go
her
5.5.
No, and also like I've had a pretty busy few years, and like I commit a lot to bodybuilding as well. So unless it was someone within like the gym or within bodybuilding, like it's quite hard for that to happen, you know. But
I think one of the important things that would affect Jack is Jack's a natural bodybuilder. You see body fat percentages that Jack will need to go to without the use of enhancement are going to really, really fuck his testosterone levels, you know, and he's going to have heightened estrogen. Remember, the people that are assisted sometimes around prep before it gets like horrible, have elevated sex drive because of, you know, these things, or if they're coming out of a show, maybe they're doing TRT. So on a serious note, that's probably, I mean, Ellis, my missus diets down. She's not actually done a show yet because she's getting fucked around or whatever. But when she gets low body fat, and she does, her hormones are fucked. Do you know what I mean? And like for the natural person and stuff like that, being like sub 10% is, your body is not, you know, what's the last thing your body really needs to do? It's make babies. If you can't afford, your body's going, oh, I'm in a stress situation. I can't, you know, I can't eat, I'm starving, even though you're not actually starving like in real life. Your body doesn't know that. And the first thing to go for females and males, it makes sense that it would be sex drive. And also women are, you know, can lose their periods and their ability to reproduce. And that makes perfect sense as a survival aspect.
Yeah.
Does that mean that you probably need to get your blood work done, Jack?
I had it done and everything came back fine, but
She came back as candle wax.
that was quite a long time after the prep, and I think it was more the psychological thing that was affecting it then. But like, no.
All right, bollocks then. It was only a theory.
No,
Let's change into topics to carry on.
I really like beanbags. Is that what you were going to say? I really love beanbags. It's just so soft.
Love the rim.
For fuck's sake.
Jack, come on. We almost said a thing.
No, I was going to say, it definitely... Like,
it was...
Towards the end of prep, like, and then for a long time afterwards, if like a really smart girl walked in the gym, the first thing I'd notice would be her shoes. That's how...
Well, she's smart. Is she wearing like a tux or...
An attractive girl.
Ah, an attractive. I remember those back in the 80s.
So, yeah, but...
Yeah, that's fucked up, mate. You're looking at her shoes. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, to be fair, if I'm 4 weeks out, even like anything, like, it's not like 4 weeks out kind of in that, or bridging shows, mate, no fucking way. No way.
Jack, you haven't competed since 2017.
Well, I'm all right now, so I'm busy as fuck.
It's all right now, mate. He's nailed in like 15 in the last...
He still hasn't. That's the thing. But
that's okay. I think we've got to the fact that Jack's having a bit of a hard time. He needs a bit of a hug. I'm going to take him out on the lash. We're going to down a couple of amino drinks. I'm going to
honestly, dudes, it's confidence, isn't it? Like, I have no confidence with women. I'm fucking in America. I'm British. I'm fucking 6'2". I'm tan. I'm fucking 320 pounds. Everyone thinks I look like a god, but I feel like a piece of shit on the floor. You know, like, it's just self-confidence. Like, I have the worst self-confidence there is.
Yeah, like, just bang fours. You'll be fine.
That's their confidence. That's their confidence. I have mates who smash, like, that's their thing. They smash. And I actually think that they have worse confidence than you. I think that that's a worse sign.
Really?
I have friends that smash lots of women. Yeah. And they have low confidence. And I think that's a worse sign. Than you know, I think that it's not always what it appears to be, is it? Oh, that guy's smashing those girls. He must really like himself. In fact, actually, talking about that, it was that Muggy Mike who was on like that fucking horrific reality TV show. Seemed to be just having sex. I think he had sex with me once whilst I was having a shower, and I didn't even realise. Yeah, he was
that was before our time.
And it was like literally 2 years ago. And like, and he and basically he was on like Love Island or something. Yeah, and he was smashing in like everyone. Everyone thought, oh, he's like doing so great. He must be so confident. And he hated it. He hated himself, and he actually ended up committing suicide as well. So it's like, don't take it as like a smashing the girls in is and all that sort of stuff. Like that bravado element means that's their interpretation. Might be suffering with exactly the same thing, but their solution to that is to go and do the opposite, to appear to do the opposite. And actually, like,
they don't feel very alpha. They want to look alpha.
Yeah, and so, like, do you know what I mean? If you don't want to go out and smash those girls, just fucking don't.
Yeah, but it's a basic need as a man. I can't, and I'm sure you boys really understand, is that, fuck off. Is that I can't understand how Jack can go that long without it. Simple as that. You know what I mean? You must be wanking like fuck.
Come on, it's been locked down. It takes everyone a while to get over the wanking phase.
I'm not done, but like, mate, when I'm working, I get up at like 3:45 in the morning, and I get home.
Have a wank, yeah.
Get up at 1:15.
And then I get home at like just gone 9 o'clock.
Cool. So have a wank then.
When am I going to go out and find a bird? Like,
no, we're talking about wanking now. We're just going to give you an in-depth wanking, like.
Mate, there's loads of apps on your phone now. You can do that.
Yeah. Is there any time you're like, because you get a lunch break and that, don't you?
Get a lunch break.
Get a lunch break. Pretend you started smoking. Just be like, can I go out for a fag? And then people will be like, oh yeah, go out for a fag, and they just fucking keep pounding motherfuckers out. Yeah. Just like straight onto the fucking.
Other smokers ask if they can join.
That's fine, as long as they smoke these nuts. I've got you covered, Jack. I'm going to write you a plan, okay?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's going to be sick. Stealth wanks.
Remember, it's got to be a natural plan, though, yeah?
Yeah, it's totally natural. You just smash your own fucking sausage out. It's going to be good. You could create a separate Instagram. It might even have more followers than you already do.
Jack's penis.
Stealth wank.
Yeah, it's just called stealth wank. And it's just you rolling around places that have people that are over the age of 18 around them. Don't do this.
Does anyone know that Steve will do it?
No.
So he's here in America. Basically, it's called Steve will do it because he does anything. And like he's friends with Bradley Martin. They're both together down the road at the moment. And he's like YouTube videos of like him doing like fucking 4-liter bottles of vodka in one, like drinking 96 raw eggs. He'll literally do anything. It's fucking insane. Check him out. And I was like, yeah, we should just call it Jack will do it.
Jack will wank on it.
If it's for the gram, I definitely think you would.
All right, well, Jack, I don't think we've really got to the bottom of what's going on with
the
you.
bombshell.
there's no bombshells, but we've got a lot of plans for you now that you will all hate, probably.
I'll report back next week how it's gone.
Okay, next week, full report.
I'll go on the hunt, starting tonight.
Hunt for cunt. Okay.
You won't need to hunt. This video's out. It'll be inundated with offers. You'll be all right.
Yeah, you won't need to. I told them about the thing. They're going to leave the comments.
ASAP then.
When you do that, Biff just fucking flies at the bottom.
If any
Go
women
on Tinder.
podcast this far in, there's something wrong.
Yeah. Go on Tinder and put on the top of your bio, haven't released my load in 3 years. Who wants a rainfall? And then see what they say.
Mate,
Yeah.
there's a fucking
Yes.
everything. You could sell your 3-year load on eBay for like enough money.
It's like those women that sell their virginity, innit? You know, it'll be the same principle.
Yeah, just mate, there's someone in there for that. Sell your 3-year wank in a little fucking jar, and mate, someone's going to pay some money. There's some fucked up people in there. My mate used to sell his first piss of the day, and one time, and the guy used to drink. This guy used to drink it, and so I don't know whether he wanked at the same time. I don't know, but anyway, one time he forgot to bottle his morning piss. Sent him a normal piss. The guy fucking knew. And he got bad feedback. He got like bad feedback. Did not send morning piss. I don't think it said that, but it was like, yeah, breach of contract. I asked for morning piss.
Oh, fuck.
So there's
was it late afternoon piss?
Yeah, he gave him a late afternoon. The guy fucking knew. He was onto it straight away.
Was it too hydrated? Like,
yeah, it was too. Yeah, it was nothing. Didn't have that elky, waxy texture he was looking for.
I don't like where this podcast is going. On Instagram, you didn't tell me. He put it on Instagram.
Why the fuck would you put that on Instagram?
No. I didn't. I hinted at it when I was like ripping someone apart.
How can none of that sentence makes sense to me right now? Fuck me. Well, look, Ryan's already fell asleep. I know how he feels about it, so let's fucking go.
Oh, no, I just think that maybe you should ask Jack in private if he wants that on the podcast, you know.
Oh, I'm not asked. Right, I'm not asked. Oh.
Yeah, maybe in private.
Yeah, maybe I'll take it off. Right.
All
right.
It's quite a good little chat. I mean, you might not want people knowing, or if my mum starts talking about Jack's sex life, then fuck them.
Oh my God, I've just imagined your mum talking about the... Oh God. I'm sorry, Mum. It wasn't my fault.
Love the podcast. Who's that rude cunt?
Who's that horrible red-faced cunt? Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry, Mum. I love you.
Wait, John, please let me get her on a podcast, please.
Oh, mate. All right, I'm going to go, because if I don't go, then I'm going to chat shit forever.
Before I do. She's like, Ryan, have you seen this photo of this? Did you see that this happened? I'm like, no, Mum.
What a fucking legend. My mum's never actually come to any of my shows. None of my family ever come to any of my shows.
And she posted me these to put them on the wall. Look.
Oh, mate. That must be
lovely.
Amazing. That's amazing.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, that wasn't a bombshell, but on that, peace out. I love British bodybuilding. I love you all. Go fuck yourselves.
Make sure you have a wank.
I will right now.